it was really never going to work from the beginning because they already knew Doug. Doug was the marriage guy who got interviewed by all of them. He was like a regular guest on all of their programs. And the primary content of him being the guest was how close he was to his previous wife and his kids.
Butterflies.
So you were selling that to them prior, even in the very face of Marcus. And as soon as Marcus dies, now all of a sudden you daddy now? Mm-hmm.
Told you that while I was in Colorado, I didn't feel comfortable with y'all going into the house without me being there. And she kept using that. Well, when you kick somebody in the house, they're in the house, and you kick them out, right? So that was the thing. And then I talked to Jimmy actually about this. I'm paying for the 1-year birthday party like I always do. Mm-hmm. And so it's coming up, and she's
tomorrow, right?
Huh?
Tomorrow, right?
No, she moved it back. She moved. So is Doug? She said I don't want Doug there, and I said if I pay for the party and it's at my house and he's here for the weekend, he's going to be there. Mm-hmm.
Joni admitted that Doug Weiss was staying over at her house for the weekend even before they were married.
Yo, hold up. Wait a minute. We out here condemning the world for doing little getaways. You know? Little getting flued out. Doug getting flued out. Okay? Yeah. You know when you get flued out, you got to put out.
So they must have been doing like their weekend intensive Bible study and prayer meeting and fasting.
I need a meme to come in right here. Yo, welcome to people, man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Level Up with Larry and Leo, where we turn trials into opportunities and dreams into reality. My name is Larry, and this is Leo, and we just here talking about their story.
Man, thank you guys for the love, the prayers. I'm overcoming this flu, the whole family. But speaking of flu, Doug was getting flued out for the weekend. Wait a minute, though. Wait 1 second. Is this still during the time that Doug didn't even tell his employees and his therapy clients that he was divorced? Flying out, spending a weekend? Woo! Play the rest.
For context, this is really around Rebecca, the other daughter, finally popping off on Joni, telling her how she felt about the Dougie Fresh situation. And we find out a little bit more about what was going on during their courtship, their time of preparing for holy matrimony.
That's full court press.
Ooh-wee.
For someone in her position as a Christian leader, that's just not setting a good example. And let's be real, she was supposed to be mourning her husband. Meanwhile, Doug is spending weekends at her place? It doesn't make sense and feels like a complete disregard for boundaries. This audio doesn't just show how frustrated Rebecca was, it pretty much backs up those other recordings that Joni and Doug were already making out before they even got married.
I mean, just the fact that, you're heavily making out, like right away.
Yeah, I don't apologize for that. Yes, we were making out because we wanted to see if we had that kind of connection. I don't know if there's anything wrong. We had talked 60 hours in the month of July.
That's right.
So if there's something wrong, Jimmy, is there something wrong with making out? I definitely kiss the hound dog out of him. So
Absolutely not.
First of all, referring to it as making out is so high school. Let's just start there. That is a high school way of saying it. Oh yeah, we made out. Like, come on. But Joni said, hey, I don't apologize for that.
I'm standing 10 toes down.
I don't know. We had to find
standing on my
out. We had to find out if we had a connection. We had to make sure we had a connection.
Bro, I don't know. I was born at night, but not last night. 3 a.m. to be specific. This is crazy. Like, okay, bro, let's be authentic. If you have a connection with someone that you're physically attracted to, that you find desirable, and you are spending an entire weekend
by yourself
in a large home
by yourself
with the pool
by yourself by yourself,
I don't know what flesh they got, but my flesh don't work like that, boy. I don't know if they already got their glorified bodies yet, but I ain't got mine. I ain't put myself under that pressure. And then to ask Jimmy to okay it is diabolical.
Jimmy, that doesn't go against the Bible, right?
Yeah, rubber stamp that thing.
He's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nothing wrong with that at all. That is fully okay.
Yo, Jimmy, you bought and sold, bro. That's crazy.
Think about
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine a spiritual leader in the Christian faith okaying that.
Think about when you were courting your wife.
Bro, I couldn't do it. I could not.
First of all, I didn't have enough money to fly anybody out. Or be in no private nothing. We ain't have money for that. But she said, I don't apologize for that. She said they spent 60 hours on the phone. 60 hours?
60 hours on the phone. And then to spend 48, 72, I don't know how long the weekend. I don't know if it was Friday to Monday, Friday to Sunday. I don't know.
All it takes is one night.
I really like. We're making light of this because that's what we do. But bro, that shows the level of control that she needs to function. I'm paying for this party.
Who was the party for again? It says a 1-year-old.
Her grandson or granddaughter, her grandchild.
Rebecca's
child. Yeah.
Hold up. So Rebecca says, I don't want Doug there. Mm-hmm. I don't want him there. For my 1-year-old, she said, if I'm paying for it, I know, bro, that is just diabolical, man. I would straight up, eventually, if this was, I ain't even going to say that. But like, bro, I can see how they're like, they don't want to deal with her anymore.
Bro.
I can see it. And Rachel is like, good riddance. I'll get all the inheritance.
Dougie is laying it down. Okay, Doug? Doug is laying it down so flat, so well, that she's like, I don't even want you at my house when I'm not there. Because there's some things that I don't want you stumbling into my dungeon. Okay? There's some things I don't want you stumbling upon. Okay? There's some apparatus, and this is just conjecture. This is just us spoofing. But why don't you want your kids over at your house? What you hiding? You think they're gonna steal from you? Unless you got something over there that you don't want them to stumble upon.
She got some toys.
Yo,
dude, can you imagine Doug pulling up to the party with his towel, with nothing but a towel on?
Toga.
Like, oh, hey guys,
toga style. Yo,
We're almost done with Bible study.
It don't make sense. It does not make sense for two seasoned saints of the Lord to put themselves in that situation willingly. I don't get it.
You know, I noticed just in my time in church that the older saints, they don't really like being told what to do as much. They're like, even if you catch them in something, I'll give you an example. I remember back when I was working at the church, I was running around doing something. I ran in. I remember I was pulling up to some neighborhood.
I know what story you're about to tell.
And I saw some deacon coming out the store. It was like a corner store there. Full case of beer. Full case.
24 pack.
And I stopped. I said, Deacon. I'm not gonna say which deacon. No one knows which deacon I'm talking about.
I do.
Okay, it was not. It was a deacon at one of the churches we were.
I know what deacon, bro.
I stopped. I said, Deacon, and deer headlights, and then I just pulled off. You didn't even wait for an explanation. Or no, he just said he just I was like so disappointed.
Woo.
And then I ran into him a few days later. He was like, I was getting it from my workers, working. And I was getting it for them. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine.
You ain't gotta prove it to me. I ain't co-signing for your pass to heaven. That ain't me.
But long story short, at a certain age, you don't need nobody telling you nothing. You like, I've been serving the Lord for this long. You just gonna have to trust my walk. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from Joni. Like, she's like, y'all checking me? Y'all checking me? First of all, I pay for everything y'all got. Second of all, I'm grown. Third of all, don't come for me. Or in Doug's like, yeah. We don't have to answer to you all. Who do you think you are?
Bro. 3 things really trouble me. First, that they're okay with it. They're okay with it. And they're broadcasting it. Like, we made out. Bro, in the throes of passion.
I ain't apologizing for that.
Bro, and you have a nice, probably pillow top mattress in the vicinity. Come on, man. We adults.
But,
come on.
But you go back to when she said, like, when you go back to when she was first defending the whole relationship, she was like, first of all,
we did it the right way.
We didn't have sex until we got married. Doug is a holy man. He's a righteous man. Don't do that. We didn't have sex until we get married. We weren't even sexting each other. So you're telling me after 60 hours of phone conversations, all y'all were talking about was the Lord?
Exegesis.
Prayer and speaking in tongues and interpretation?
Bro, I don't know who they're trying to convince, themselves or us. There's a lot of things you could do besides the horizontal mamba. Okay?
Go on a hike.
No. I'm not talking about clean stuff. I'm talking about y'all could get real dirty real quick without going full throttle.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Joni gives off this vibe of, I told you the lie. I don't need you. I need you just to accept the lie that I gave you.
And look, hey, if you did it, God is able to forgive. You don't need to fake the funk for us. You don't need to fake the funk for us. Say, hey man, look, we made out. Sometimes things got out of hand, but we put it in God's hands. And that explains why the marriage was so quick, because they were burning. They were burning and yearning. You had to tie the knot quickly.
Bruh. Just wild on every single level. Yeah, let's
keep going.
So, apparently, Jimmy Evans didn't see anything wrong with Doug spending weekends at Joni's house or them making out before they were married. Honestly, that's shocking. No Christian leader in their right mind would think this is okay. He was just bending the rules to keep his friends happy or stay on Joni's good side. Honestly, it makes sense why he stepped down from his marriage ministry. How can you preach about marriage values when you're supporting behavior like this? But anyway, let's get back to the Rebecca and Joni audio because there's a lot more to dig into there.
She said, I don't want Doug there. And I said, if I pay for the party and it's at my house and he's here for the weekend, he's going to be there. And that was the trigger. You know, well, you told me he didn't have to. I said, I never told you that. You told me that, but I never told you I was going to buy that. I actually talked to Jimmy about this, and he said, you absolutely got to draw that boundary now. He's going to be in your family, and you don't let her manipulate you like that. And
I mean, if she tries it now, she'll try it later.
Yeah, I just.
So she said, you're taking away your 1-year-old grandson's birthday party. I said, I'm not taking it away. I said, I'll pay for it. You'll have it, but you're not going to manipulate me and tell me exactly. So it was crazy. And so he heard her on the phone when she called me.
Because she was yelling, not because she was.
I didn't have her.
No, not because
she was yelling.
Yeah, he doesn't say that.
We were playing Scrabble. So it wasn't. My mom said, "Here, listen to this nonsense." She wasn't trying to uncover her at all. Rebecca uncovered herself. She's yelling, "I'm going to hold you to stand. You're not being a Christian mom, and this is evil." And I'm like, I actually like Rebecca, but I was like, what the heck?
And I have been guilty of placating that. I mean, y'all.
I think the whole family
is trying to be a good mother, but Rachel has been very respectful towards me. And she may be saying something totally different, but at least I respect that. That she's been nice to him. Rebecca was very rude to Doug.
He was walking by, and they were around.
Yeah, he just said hello. He was like, what is up?
You're dirty. I can feel you. What is that?
Yo.
She coming to Doug defense, bro.
The manipulator is accusing other people of being manipulated.
That's manipulation 101. Manipulation 101 is to do that.
You're not going to manipulate me. And Jimmy Evans told me to tell you that.
Yeah, if there's any manipulation to be going on, I'm going to be the one doing the manipulation. You heard?
Don't let her manipulate you. And then she talked about what's her name? Rachel?
Yeah.
She was very nice to Doug. She was the crash out queen. The one that's wild. She's like, Rachel treated him great.
Because Rachel's playing the game. She knows what she needs, what she wants. So she's gonna play that game. She probably don't like him either. But she knows in order to stay in mom's good graces, you got to go with who's. Let me not say that. Who's taking care of her needs.
Bruh. Listen, and I don't want to make this about complexion. But listen, I have one half of my family has a certain complexion, so I have a little bit of a background in this. But I've noticed that certain people from certain complexions, they want you to accept their nonsense and their lies, and they just want you. I tell it to that side of my family all the time. I'm like, it's like I just love the contrast because I see both sides. So like on one end, it's like, let's just play nice. Let's shove it under the corner. Like, let's just shove it under the rug. Let's just be a big old happy family. Let's just act like everything is good and we just go on about our merry lives.
Yes.
And I notice in my other family, we go pop off and tell you exactly how we feel. We ain't playing nice. We ain't playing fun. We gonna tell you exactly how we feel. We don't get it all out there. And I noticed that's a little bit more of a healthy place. And so what ends up happening in this situation is the kids kind of starting to feel them like, you know what, we're tired of playing nice. No more Mr. Nice Guy. We're going to tell you how we feel.
Yeah.
And mom is like, that's not how we do things. We've kind of raised you guys just to go along with what we say, and we just kind of all have a nice smile on our face. And don't worry, we'll pay for it. Let's just be nice. Accept the lies that come out of my mouth. Just say, okay, we're fine. Yay. As long as mommy pays for everything, we're good. But eventually they were like, man, this is crazy.
But 2 out of 3 of them complied. They're like, hey, we're either going to be silent or we're going to be very adamantly against Jonathan and what he's doing. So, Doug, kudos, my brother, because you not
Had
only
her in a trance.
Bro,
Joni was in a trance.
Damn.
Like,
she ready to run through a wall for that man.
Joni said, he's been the biggest blessing of my life. Y'all ain't about to take away this blessing from me. Okay? Don't play with me. Let's
talk a little bit about Jimmy. You guys could let me know in the comments. What level of control does someone have to have on you for you to knowingly not just condone, but endorse behavior that you know is wrong? Making out in a house by yourself? Come on, man. We're adults. Especially having tasted
and seen that the Lord is good.
You feel me? Hey, come on, man. How you going? Come on. I don't know how. I do not believe you have that level of willpower, my brother. If it's like, good, like you said it's good,
it progresses. You taste and see that the Lord is good. Then you lay hands on the sick that they may recover. Then your rod and your staff starts to comfort. That's how it progresses.
I'm bad, bro. Yo, you wild. Wild.
That's how that Bible study transit. That was a full Bible study right there,
bro. Come on, man. Come on. Let's be transparent. Like, yo. And the rumor is that they were already laying the groundwork before he even exited his marriage. They're already laying the groundwork.
How anybody can think otherwise has to be the most naive type of person.
Like, bro, like, come on, man. Come on now.
So they just needed Jimmy just to be the co-signer. Which is like, wild. Which he had a ministry called XO Ministries, which was like a marriage, XO Marriage. It was a marriage ministry. Like he was like considered a marriage expert, and he would give marriage counseling and all these different things. Tell me how and why you all of a sudden you exit that ministry. You're no longer a part of that ministry. Now you're just focused on prophecy. You go from marriage to prophecy all of a sudden because you felt the Lord leading you that way. Nah, bro. People ain't want to listen to you talk about marriage no more. Yeah. Thanks to Joni.
Because you can't. You lost all your credibility there. Like the level of. I think he believed that his relationship with Joni was more valuable than his integrity
or
at
what
that moment.
his ministry can. Here's my question. Here's a big question, because it seems as though many times people have the assumption, ministers have the assumption that if I get in bed, in quotation marks, not literally, with this person and get the benefit that this person gives me, even though it's going to ruin my reputation, I'm going to gain more from this affiliation than I would if I would have just kept my integrity. Is that real? Is that the truth? Like, is it better in the long run in terms of like success or whatever to keep your integrity and do the right thing than it is to get the quick win, so to speak?
Yeah, I think you'll see better results taking the path of, hey, let me put my convictions aside, let me put my integrity aside and do this thing, because that's quick reward. But in the end, I believe that because you're dealing with someone that does not have that ethos, that doesn't have that center, that moral center, that eventually that person will turn on you too. That eventually that person will find that you're no longer of use to them. Because the reason why they wanted you to stamp it is because your name meant something. It's because your ministry meant something. But the moment you use it to give them credibility for something that does not deserve it, something that should not be, then you begin to lose the very thing that they're using you for. So you become less and less valuable.
Here's where Joni messed up. That junk might work on people in the public that don't really know you, but what makes you think that's going to work with your kids who know you? They see you every day. They know how you move. They know how you operate. They know the things that you do. What makes you think it's going to work on them? That's a naive move, man. You think, oh, I'm just going to get this big minister that nobody, like, kids don't care. They're like, Jimmy? Okay. Thanks, Jimmy. That really, like, that's kind of a dumb move to really think that's going to work on your kids.
Well,
like,
they're
or you really thought
looking for the submission.
You thought so little of your kids that all I have to do is get this person and you're just going to believe what that person says. Like, bro.
And remember, she controls the money. She controls their access to employment. Like, she's got a lot of tentacles, like a lot of things attached to her, which J-Dub is calling it timeout. So she's got a lot of things attached to them to control them and hold them to do what she wants them to do, which is why Rebecca's quiet right now, because the rumor is that she signed that NDA. According to public reports, she signed that NDA, so they can't really move and say what they really want to say. And we already know Rachel's on the side of, hey, who gonna take care of me? And who is protecting whoever Pete is, right? She's going hard in the paint about that. So we know that this is there for Rebecca to be controlled and the rest of the family to be controlled. But because Jonathan broke that barrier of, hey, I control everything that's going on, because he's the only male, right? And he's seen the rule of his father. Not righteous all the time, but he's seen how his father moved. And now his mom is moving less covertly in her, the way she does things. Like, bro, like, if somebody's coming for the weekend, why not get him a hotel room? You have the money. Get them a hotel room across town, right? Have them staying with somebody. Like, who's holding you accountable? Which is what you would have wanted if your daughter was single and dating, right? If your daughter told you that they were doing this, she would have an objection. But you're doing it. It's all right. Do what I say, not as I do, is the way that they're operating. And it came to bite. And like you said, Jimmy's kind of lost his ministry because he gave it over to them. And so went the credibility.
With people who only say yes to her. She didn't seem to care about her kids' concerns or even value their wisdom when it came to her relationship with Doug. And honestly, those are the people she should have been listening to the most. They're her kids. The ones closest to her. Instead, she ignored them, brushing off their thoughts about her unbiblical relationship. And that comment about not trusting Rebecca to be at her house when she wasn't there, that says a lot about how distant and impersonal her relationship with her kids really was. It's heartbreaking. This is what happens when money and power come into play. You start bending the rules to fit your narrative. They even tried to make this relationship sound like some kind of divine intervention. Remember those articles? How God miraculously led Joni Lamb and Doug Weiss together, or the supernatural love story of Joni Lamb and Doug Weiss? It's like they were trying to sell a fairy tale while ignoring the glaring issues. And now, Rebecca has gone completely silent, which is strange considering how vocal she was against the union before Joni and Doug even tied the knot. But as Jonathan revealed, it turns out she signed an NDA. Joni knew Rebecca would speak out, so she acted fast, offering money in exchange for her silence. It's sad, really. Rebecca clearly had strong feelings about this, but now she's been legally silenced.
Boy.
Let's wrap a bow on this, bro.
We know that Joni knew exactly what she was doing the whole time. And who wrote those articles? Is it the same person that wrote that comment? Like, bro, okay, so you moved on. You know what I mean? You're in a new relationship. Okay. There's no need to call it miraculous. There's no need to call it supernatural. There's no need, bro. It's like, hey, look, we found each other. We're in love. Like, bro, stop over spiritualizing stuff, especially stuff that ain't on the up and up.
It's a tale as old as time. It's unfortunate, man, because you choose this relationship over the connection with your kids.
100%. And the kids weren't saying don't get into a relationship. They're like, yo, slow down. You probably should get to know Doug. But Doug was like, turn around.
And the fact that Doug just all of a sudden got divorced 2 months after Marcus dies.
Yeah, bro. That's really quick, bro. That's too quick.
Even though there was
very coincidental.
Even though he said the butterflies never go away. After 30 years. Bro. Like, it is just it's so messed up. But like, it's just one of those things, like, you choose Doug over your kids and your grandkids. And I know a lot of times when you may not be as close to your kids as you'd want to be, you try to overcome that by being close with your grandkids. But the thing is, if you're not close with your kids, you're not going to be close with your grandkids. So to think that you can just buy, and even to think that you can just buy their affection by saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna pay for birthdays, and I'm gonna pay for this, and I'm gonna pay for that, and mom and grandma is just gonna pay for everything." That does not, like, if your relationship with your kids are messed up, like, that's not gonna work either.
Mm-mm. Bro.
So this is just an unfortunate situation that Joni just has to deal with it. You made your bed, you gotta lay in it.
And if I am Dirty Doug, my primary goal after securing Joni is to ingratiate myself with the family. And the way that I do that is I try to curtail Joni fighting on my behalf, allowing the kids to grow and say, hey, look, I realize you lost your father less than
I'm your new father.
18 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, let's look. Me and your mom we're building a relationship, and I want to extend my respect to you guys. I want you guys. You're never gonna see me as your father, but I want you to see that we're operating and we're pursuing this relationship in a way that's honoring to God and your dad's memory. Right? We don't want to look like, bro, 2 months after you're out of there, you're paying for honeymoon before the engagement. Like, all these things they're sloppy, right? If you're gonna go wrong, do wrong right.
The fact it was really never gonna work from the beginning because they already knew Doug. Doug was the marriage guy who got interviewed by all of them.
Yeah.
He was like a regular guest on all of their programs. And the primary content of him being the guest was how close he was to his previous wife and his kids.
Butterflies.
So you were selling that to them prior, even in the very face of Marcus. And as soon as Marcus dies, now all of a sudden you daddy now?
And you're talking about all that the Lord died so you can have a great sex life. Like, come on. And that was with Lisa. And now Lisa's an abuser. She's a neglector. Like, come on, man.
At this point, I'm trying to figure out who's worse, Doug or Joni. And it's hard. It's a hard choice. It's all.
Well, I mean, I would have to give it to Joni because Doug is just, he just making a play to get in position for, for more influence, a bigger platform, more access to money and private jets and all that stuff. So I got to give it to Joni because Joni is the one that's orchestrating. Okay, Joni could tell Doug right now, look, sit down and shut up. What Doug gonna do? What Doug gonna do?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what he gonna do. Sit down and shut up.
You think?
Bro, come on, bro. Who do you think has the power in that relationship?
But Doug seems like a crash out king, though.
It don't matter, bro.
But does Joni really have that type of muscle? She has money, but does she have muscle?
What are you talking about? Her money is her muscle.
Who does she have?
And Doug can't leave another marriage.
Unless, he can. Here's the thing I learned.
You done though. You done. Right now you're on life support. You leave this. You leave Daystar. You no longer have a marriage ministry. Where you going?
Bro, how many people have we seen?
And you probably got a prenup.
How many people have we seen fall from grace but still recover and get back into ministry doing exactly what they were doing before? I could tell you a bunch. A bunch. They may not be at the height they were before, but
I'm talking about twice.
Christians are fair to forgive.
But how are you going to go from the supernatural love story, just like you went for, hey, I still got the butterflies. So what's going to be your reason now? Neglect? Abuse again?
Swing into your next season.
Was you going to pull out Amos again? Was it Amos? What was the verse that they used? Like, come on, man.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, J-Dub. It's funny. It's funny they want to act.
People were in the comments talking about the baby's distraction. Hey, this is real life, bruh. This is real life.
Yo, y'all get off J-Dub. Y'all get off J-Dub. Hey, I'm standing 10 toes down. Don't mess with J-Dub, all right? I'm the Godfather. All right? You come to me.
But all right, people, let us know what you think of the comments. And
subscribe, be a vibe.
We really close to 1,000 people, so help us out. If you want to be a vibe,
Subscribe. I know we should have put it in the beginning of our episode. I know that.
We be forgetting. We be forgetting.
We be getting right into it. But did it.
But all right, y'all be good, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.